Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called In Fabric. This is a 2018 film. It is rated R. It runs 2 hours, and it stars Sidse Babette Knudsen, Marianne Jean Baptiste, and Julianne Barrett. The description: In Fabric is a haunting ghost story set against the backdrop of a busy winter sales period in a department store and follows the life of a cursed dress as it passes from person to person with devastating consequences. This is In Fabric. Well, hello everyone. Sorry I had a little issue there at the for a second, but yeah, this movie comes to us from London, and it is a different movie by that's the minimal statement I can make about this movie is that it's different, and it just kind of does what it wants to do. Doesn't have any kind of rules or anything, but yeah, it's a different movie for sure. I don't think anybody's heard of this movie, but I go onto a website where I look at all the cinema theaters that or cinema movies that were supposed to be out in the last year or two or whatever, and this was on the list. So, what theaters got this movie, I have no idea, unless other than in London. But this is a very different movie that kind of came up on a list, and I was able to find it. I was able to watch it, and I'm sorry I did. So we'll get into why here. Oh boy. Well, I gotta be honest about this movie, and I'm not usually this cruel, but when a movie is this bad, I have to. This movie is laughable. It is. It's laughable. I was seriously talking to the thing while I was watching it, wishing it would be over finally, wondering why people were doing the things they were doing, laughing at the things that were happening. My goodness, this is terrible. I just can't express to you how stupid this movie is. And I mean, like, I could come up with a list of 100 reasons why if you really want me to. I'll rewatch the darn thing. I'll come up with 100 reasons why this movie's stupid, but in general, you just gotta kind of trust me. I hope nobody's seen this movie because it is a waste of time. Um, Forever and always, people are gonna have the argument and discussion about is it good for movies to follow the pattern of having something happen and then replaying that situation. This does the same storyline, the same situation, the same dialogue twice over, and I guess the biggest movie lately that this has happened has been It Chapter 2, and either you like that movie or you don't because it has the same situation, what, 7 times or something? Kind of the same thing, but this brings it to a new level. In Fabric has the same dialogue with the same people, except they take out one character. And it's ridiculous. You know, I mean, like, this movie could have been over after 45 minutes, and I would have been just fine, and we could have just called it a day. But no, it needs to keep going, and that's not even the worst part. You know, the worst part about this whole thing, there's a million worst parts. But the worst part is how crazy everything is. Nothing makes any sense, nothing gets explained, and the haunting of the dress is about as bad as some doll or some camera or some website. I mean, why do we have to get all these terrible haunting movies? You know, like, I just don't get it. You know, I could have been fine with people saying that this dress was cursed. If they would have kept it at that, I would have been just fine, and we could have said, okay, the dress is cursed. You know, if you wear it, these things happen. You know, you die, whatever. You're cursed. But No, they bring it to a new level and it gets silly. You know, there's no explaining this movie. The things that they have to kind of creep you out every once in a while, they'll just show this flurry of stuff, and there's no point to it. You know, there's no explanation for that. You just have your movie or don't have your movie, but you don't need to throw a bunch of crap in the middle of it just to try and creep us out. There's no point of that. So, like I said, I was laughing at this most of the time. I was talking to it, wondering why it wasn't over. I was begging and pleading for it to be over, and then it restarts itself about halfway through and does the same situation just with different people, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So it was driving me crazy, and movies like this do. I can't imagine anybody liking this movie. I looked on IMDb. It has like a something like a 6.3 or something like that. I can't believe this doesn't have like a 4.0 something kind of rating on IMDb. So whatever people are getting out of this, I don't see it. I can't suggest it. I'm giving it my lowest grade of a D minus. I can't believe I sat through this darn thing, and it was truly torture. So D minus for In Fabrique, or however you say this thing, and don't waste your time. Thanks a lot, guys. My name is Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. Enjoy your movies, just not this one. Thanks, guys.